Hello. It looks like spring has finally sprung. The sun is out, and more importantly, the golf clubs are coming out the shed,
Yes,
Swanee. The
yes.
golf clubs are back out,
Mm-hmm.
and the Premiership title race is hotting up as well, which is
The golf
but
clubs are back in.
the sticks are the rust are getting blown off the sticks and then come
Yes.
back out. But anyway, this is Game On, and it is real and truly is Game On in the world of the Scottish sport. I'm Michael Gannon, as you can see. I'm joined by old feather himself, Craig Swan. How are you, sir?
All right, son.
You've already had your golf lesson this year, haven't you, sir?
Yes. Very good.
We'll get you off the red tees, don't worry, big man. Listen, as usual, we're taking in all the hot topics and up against the clock. First up, some housekeeping. A shout out to our brilliant sponsors, NordVPN. NordVPN provides you with privacy online, leaving no digital footprint by hiding your IP address, and it's like wearing an invisibility cloak online, apparently.
Which you could be doing with in real life at times.
As long as it's not an extra large, that's I could probably be doing with that. Listen, to get a discount, go to the links below, nordvpn.com/gameonpod. You get extra discounts and all that stuff, and it's worth signing up for. And it is, joking aside, is a great deal and an essential item for your online security and so on. So there we are. But listen, let's get stuck into the real meat and drink of the week. We'll start. I think we'll start, Swanee. Scotland squad announced this week.
Right.
We're getting the kind of into the flavour for the World Cup.
Yes.
Steve Clarke announced his group for Japan and Ivory Coast. Big bombshell. I say bombshell news, but the SFA have not offered him a contract yet. Is it a contract after the World Cup?
Surprise to me.
What do you make of it? Should there be a deal on the table right now?
Yeah, there should be. As far as I'm concerned, if you're putting the message across to your manager that you want him to stay, the contract should be on the table. The fact that there isn't one, what's that saying? What's that saying about the situation? You don't.
It's saying he might have another stinker.
But that is true. That's
after the last Euros, people try to hunt him.
And that's the point. It's almost like, well, wait and see how this campaign goes, because the two finals that Scotland have got to before Scotland haven't qualified. But if you're Steve Clarke, you're thinking, well, I think I've done my bit. We're getting to 3 out of 4 tournaments. If I was him, I would be expecting a contract to be on the table. I would want that as a sign of these guys want me to stay. Now, Steve Clarke might fancy getting back into club football. Certainly dropped enough hints about it the other day.
Well, I was going to say, Steve Clarke's been a bit cute here, I think.
Of course he has.
I mean,
but Steve Clarke can be as cute as he wants. That doesn't change the fact there isn't a contract on the table.
But Ian Maxwell has said numerous times that basically Clarkie's got a job for life if he wants it.
Yeah,
pretty much. He said this. I mean, he knows we've got the 3 out of 4 major finals. If Clarkie wants a job, he get the job.
Yeah, football people can say what they like, Michael. A contract in black and white.
And Clarkie is always. And listen, it wasn't long ago Clarkie was saying, I'm probably 75-25 I'm going to go. So it's kind of like it's fell in between the cracks. I think Clarkie has been a bit strategic as well. These comments during the week. I think. Listen, maybe I'm just a cynic, right? Did you not think it looked to me like a kind of come and get me play? And I'm thinking,
when was the last time you saw a football manager close a door on themselves anywhere?
Well,
there
is
every single door open. That's what they do.
Do you not think it sounded like Clarkie was maybe trying to nudge some people along?
People, Michael?
Well, there's a pretty big job available in the summer.
There is.
Not far from Hampden.
No.
He's been linked with this job for a long time.
Yeah.
And it looks like the timing's not been right. Timing this time, it's still not quite right because World Cup's taking place when you could. I'm talking Celtic, of course.
Yeah.
It's not quite, but it's not far off.
Yeah.
Is Clarkie just batting the eyelids a wee bit, saying if you want me, get a move on here because I could be signing a new contract with Scotland.
Yeah, I think you used the phrase Steve as being cute. I mean, I think he's probably beyond that batting the eyelids, but everybody knows his situation. Everybody knows his situation.
Would he?
Would he? I'm not so sure. I don't know. Should Celtic be speaking to him? 100%. They should certainly be asking
a
question.
He wants that job, doesn't he?
If Celtic don't ask that question, they're not doing their job properly.
He wants that job, doesn't he?
You better ask him.
He's a hard man to read, doesn't he, Clarkie? But yeah, I think he's a good position. I think he'd like to know if he's doing that job after the World Cup. I think that's. I don't know. I just felt it was a wee bit of a.
You made your mind up, Michael, haven't you?
Listen, I'm always suspicious about everyone in general, and I just think
football people, really.
I know, but I just think it looked to me like a kind of. I mean, he's sitting there in the come and get me t-shirt.
Right, move on.
But anyway, talk about Scotland and his squad. As usual, any time a Scotland squad's announced, it divides opinion.
Yes.
What did you make of it? And who is right to feel a bit snubbed and left out?
It was interesting to listen to Derek McInnes's point that he was a bit disappointed you were there, obviously, Michael, and when Derek had his say about it this week. I didn't think there was many really that had pushed strongly enough, bar the only one I would say would maybe be Craig Halkett. I think Craig Halkett's had a really good season. Craig Halkett's been involved in the Scotland setup before. He's been used in the past. Clark's had him in there, so he knows what he's about. I think Craig Halkett may have been a wee bit unlucky not to make it, given how he's performed through this season for Hearts.
He's been rock solid, especially with Grant Hanley's injury issues.
Yeah, nothing else really jumped out at me. Obviously, you would imagine Kieran Bowie might still launch a bid to get back, to return for the summer. But Craig Halkett would be the only one. I didn't see really any other massive glaring omissions that guys should have been in there.
I would have maybe had a look at his Hearts teammate Harry Milne. I know he's a left back, right, and left back is probably the one position that we're well off on.
New goalkeeper situation.
Well, we could do it.
Remember back in the day with the greatest goalkeepers in Europe, and it's the greatest left backs.
Now we're churning out left backs for fun. But I just look at the right backs, an issue for us. Aaron Hickey's injury problems. I'd love to see him get a clean run of health for a long time. Yeah. Hopefully he'll be back. I mean, it sounds like he will be okay.
Yes.
But let's be honest, he has had issues in the past.
Which a shame. She's tremendous.
Well, you get Tony Ralston in the squad. He's not playing a lot of football. It looks like he's done now third choice at Celtic behind Orojo
that's not a new thing.
Kobe Donovan, and then Naser Djiga could be fourth choice in the next few weeks. But he never let Scotland down. No. Harry Milne was a left back, but he's played on the right side. He played right wing,
played right midfield,
right mid for Hearts, and I think he's very versatile.
Yeah,
he's had a great season. I know he's had a slight injury this week as well, but I think he might be okay for this weekend. I like to see him, but it's not really a time for tinkering. Really.
No, I take your point, mate. Plugging a gap for Hearts is a bit different to plugging a gap in a World Cup finals, for an international team. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, but then you look at other guys that are having, sensational. Stephen O'Donnell is having that season and a half. Watched him at the weekend there. For Mallow, he's been playing centre half, which probably hurts him a wee bit with Scotland. But he's played right back a bit this season. Yeah. But again, he's at 20 odd caps for Scotland, so never let him on down. He might be feeling a little bit hard done. I know he's getting on a bit as well.
Yeah.
Remember
how he played in the Euros, remember?
Yeah. And we've got Ben Gannon coming back. Lawrence Shankland now fit. Hopefully he'll be. Well, he should be in the squad.
Would have been.
So there's guys coming in.
And that was the thing. That was the thing about Derek's saying. Craig Gordon, if he was fit, would be in. Lawrence Shankland, I would imagine, would be in.
Aye. Hickey, Ben Gannon, these guys, they'll all be in. He won't change. Listen, this is the kind of we're getting to the point that this squad has been tailored for a good period of time. World Cup could be the kind of, I'm not saying last hurrah, but for that squad it might well be.
Yeah.
But there is going to be some room for wee guys to kind of make a push. Wee guys, we're talking about young guys to make a push.
Well, Findlay Curtis is in there, isn't he?
Well, there we go. So I'm wondering, is Findlay Curtis got a chance to get in the plane?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're speaking about versatility. I've seen a wee bit of come on it this year. I've seen Findlay Curtis play at right back for Neil McCann. He played him in a game against St Mirren. It was either right back or right wing. No, I think it was right back. He covered various positions. I think Neil McCann was at pains to point that in the game against Hearts, in the game against Hearts last weekend's the first time he's played really in the position that you envisaged Findlay Curtis playing in.
Yeah.
Sort of as a winger, he's filled in. He's done other jobs. Neil McCann spoke about his development and getting him to understand the game and playing other positions. But I look at that Scotland squad and think a wide guy, attacking wide player.
We don't have a lot.
No. And if he can maybe towards the end of this season for Kilmarnock kick on maybe the last sort of 7-8 games and really stay in that position. He was really good against Hearts last week.
He was
good. Direct, got it, hit the post early doors, quick, doesn't mess about, get it in the box, but he's quite happy to get out his feet and have a crack at goal. He's got a lot going for him.
Well, we don't have an awful lot in those attacking areas.
We don't.
I know he's young, he's raw, he's not played an awful lot of first team football.
Yeah,
but Clarkie's done in the past. I mean, we look back to the Euros a few years ago, and Billy Gilmore coming in, having
Ben Gannon Dokes.
Ben Gannon Dokes another one. So he has thrown in these wee wild cards.
Yeah.
So there is going to be a gap for a wild card kind of young kid, I think, and he could be the one.
Yeah.
What a chance he's got.
It's an area of the pitch that we're not strong.
No.
We aren't strong in wide attacking areas. We aren't.
No.
Well, in terms of out and out, speed and directness.
Yeah.
We've got
pace and creativity.
Brilliant players like Ryan Christie can play out there, but Ryan would tell you himself he's no speedster. He's not going to. That's not the way it's going to work if you need to hit on the counter quickly if you're under pressure. Curtis has got a bit of speed about him.
I just hope he gets a bit of action in these 2 games against Japan and Ivory Coast, because we've had this before when guys have been called up. You think, oh, that's really interesting, and they get like 5 minutes at the end of the second friendly.
Yeah.
I would like to see him getting a bit, but I mean, we know what this squad can do.
Yeah.
So I don't think we don't need to find out about.
It's pointless playing Lyndon Dykes, for example.
We don't need to find out what John McGinn's going to be doing, or Ryan Christie, like you say. But what we need to find is, if we get options at right back.
Yeah.
If Hickey's not going to be there,
yeah.
Have we got a winger like that?
The one thing I would say about John McGinn, I know you just used him as an example, but John McGinn missed a lot of football at Aston Villa and would probably quite like the minutes.
Yeah, true.
But I know, I take your point.
I get that, but I saw a bit of him last night. I thought second half he was absolutely outstanding. He got his goal, but I thought he was outstanding. I thought he struggled a wee bit at the weekend for Villa, but I thought he looked the part again. Looked like he's back in business. He's got a great goal. I mean, it was a great goal anyway.
Brilliant point.
But yeah, he looks as though he's going.
I was down south last week, obviously, for horse racing, and talking to a few people that are Villa fans, and they just talk about him. You should hear the way they talk about him.
Stuff, by the way.
It's literally like he came back into the team off the bench in the first leg, I think, at that time. Was it Lille?
Yeah.
And they were like, everything's fixed now.
Yeah.
John's back.
Yeah. They've been struggling with him.
The way they talk about him.
Yeah. Their season is going a wee bit off without him.
And they said that's why.
Yeah. But anyway, listen, closer to home and domestic game. Big story this week. I mean, Kasper Schmeichel announcing on CBS that he's potentially his career's over.
Yeah.
Some interesting revelations about when he got injured and how much pain he's been in, and it all starts to make sense. Some of these goals he's lost, but the reaction from Celtic fans has been a kind of mixed response. I mean, and so the question has he been brave or has he been selfish playing through the pain barrier?
There's various layers to this. The first thing I think you would have to say is with any player getting told that news, it's devastating for him. I think everybody feels for him. I don't think anybody.
100%.
There's a lot of your sympathy for a guy who's been told your career might be finished, regardless of the fact he's 39 and had a great career. It's still a sore one to take.
Yeah.
This is going to come down to how bad it was. What did the Celtic management team know? Who knew what? When? How honest was Kasper Schmeichel? And by that, I don't mean him. That's probably wrong. But it's like how a manager's going to say to a player, "How you feeling? How you feeling?" It's quite clear he's not been right. I think the goals he's been given away there's not been right. But players play with injections and knocks all the time, and it's an issue between manager and player. How are you? Are you good enough?
Yeah.
Are you good to go? And you put a man of that experience, you put your trust in him to be truthful about it. Now, the accusation, because he never mentioned Celtic.
Well, I think this is the problem.
This is the thing. He never mentioned Celtic. It's all about getting to the World Cup, getting to the World Cup. There's a feeling amongst the Celtic supporters that you were keeping this to yourself and trying to keep playing games so you could get to the World Cup with your big hurrah. So I can understand Celtic fans being annoyed at that.
I think the messaging is the problem.
Yeah.
I think it's admirable that he was determined to keep playing, and obviously he's telling his manager that he can get through it. He's been getting jags and all that stuff. He's been dealing with medical stuff. He doesn't train very much anyway. So I think he's been, and Martin wanted that experience in the pitch.
Yeah.
But it started becoming detrimental. He was losing a lot of bad goals. I think if he comes out there all night and says, you know what, Celtic are in a right hole this season. We're up against it to win the league. I wanted to keep playing to try and help Celtic go over the line and get to World Cup. If he says that, I think the whole narrative changes, and Celtic fans think, do you know what? I think he'd almost be forgiven for the mistakes by not doing that. Yeah. Celtic fans are saying, hold on a minute.
Do we not count?
You keep talking about the World Cup, and meanwhile you're chucking in goals left, right, and centre, and you didn't even mention your club's name. And this big revelation.
Yeah.
The fact that he did that on that channel as well, rather than through the official club sources as well. I mean, I thought it was a wee bit.
Sprung on him slightly though by his dad? Do you think it was teed up for his dad to ask? I mean, I don't know.
Let's not come out of nowhere. Let's not be naive.
Playing devil's advocate.
Let's not be naive.
Devil's advocate.
I mean, he's segueing into his new career because he's going to be. It looks like he's going to be doing the Joe Hart route again, because he did 2 nights in a row with CBS, and he's obviously got a job lined up at some point.
Yeah.
And listen, I think he's a good guy. He's great to deal with as well. But I think he's missed the message he put out the other night was really poor.
The opportunity's been there in the last 2 days, incidentally.
He's still not done it.
To redress.
I think he's made a mistake.
Because he's not daft. He will have known what that response, has been, and what the finger that's been pointed at him. Why it's been pointed, he might come, but maybe he wants to.
He may have been a huff after getting booed against Stuttgart, but he was getting booed because he chucked in 3 goals.
Yeah,
and listen, make me on the appeal.
Celtic fans have been feeling for a long time that this issue has been worse than what's been made out.
Listen, they've been blazingly obvious.
Yeah.
glaringly obvious. He wasn't mobile enough.
Yeah.
And he was struggling to get down certain effort. So it's it's been handled badly. I think the player, management, medical staff, the messaging, it's all been handled pretty poorly. And it's a shame because he's a great character, with a big impact last year for Celtic. He had a great career. He was badly advised the way he worded that the other night, I think. Speaking of interviews this week, Russell Martin reappeared.
He did. Yes.
Speaking to our old chum, Chris Sutton.
Yes.
I thought he came across quite well. He always does, though.
Russell Martin's the kind of guy who's always going to come.
He's a smooth talker, isn't he?
Exactly, yeah.
Handsome chap and all that.
He's getting himself back out in the managerial market.
Well,
you were talking about batting eyelids when you were talking about, I mean, that was, you see, this Rangers, it wasn't really my fault, Rangers, it was a mess and I would have done this, but, if I'd have stuck to my principles, it would have been great.
It's the going through the historical car wash to freshen up.
No manager who's now coming out to return to the managerial merry-go-round with the start of the media tour and letting everybody know that my ideas are still good.
The gardening gloves, the gardening leaves are coming to an end.
Yeah, no one's going to sit there and say, I was absolutely appalling and I got it wrong. They're not going to do that.
But, this is the question. This is the question we're going to ask. Right now, we've distanced ourselves from his ill-fated reign. Was he hard done by at Rangers?
No.
Right. 2 minutes. Next question.
No, listen. No.
Well, that's that.
Look, the supporters who were
only lost one domestic game.
Come on, and the games that Rangers were drawn are as good as defeats at Rangers.
Devil's advocate.
If you're drawing with Motherwell and you're drawing at home with Dundee with a last-minute penalty kick to save the day.
Drew 4 of his last 6 games or something like that.
Rangers' performances at the start of the season were pretty dreadful. And the Rangers supporters had made their mind up quickly. Now, I made the point on Hotline Live the other night. He said in the interview the other night, with hindsight, I wouldn't have changed as many things too quickly because I know that you need to hit the ground running at Rangers. But who above him at Rangers was saying, that's okay, Russell, to make all these changes because you're going to get time? Because I'm quite sure they did. I'm quite sure Patrick Stewart and Kevin Thelwell told him that. They must have done. Whenever he was being asked, he was saying, I've got the support of the board and all that. So this isn't just Russell Martin to blame. Those transfers were sanctioned. That huge overhaul of players was sanctioned by people above him. So it's not just on him.
That's the kind of point. And some of these guys have came good.
These guys have paid with their jobs.
And some of these guys have actually come on to a game. Yeah. I mean, Fernandez, I think, has come on to a game.
Yeah.
Chermiti, I still think.
But you can't integrate them all at once, Michael. We know that.
Yeah. But that's what you have to do that.
The only guy I've seen do that successfully is Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, even his. But he also did a bumpy start.
He was the only one who basically turned an entire team in one transfer window.
But he also had a bumpy start. Yeah. But then, listen, I mean, that'd be, you're right. I mean, there was 3 wins in 11 games at the start of the season. You think draw with Motherwell, draw at home to Dundee.
Some of the performances were brutal.
Drawing to St Mirren.
Brutal.
Losing to Hearts at Ibrox. He couldn't get a result at home at the start, remember? It was like he hadn't won a game at home. He got a European result.
Listen,
out of nowhere against Victoria Pilsen. But that was
Andy Newport and Scott McDermott see Rangers a lot more than you and I do. And they told us constantly, we don't see what the pattern is, we don't see what the plan is, we can't see what he's trying to do. That was the feedback we were getting for those lads who were watching them quite a lot. And if they can see it, there was 50,000 inside the stadium could see it. So you need to make it work quicker than that, I'm afraid.
So sorry, Russell, talking nonsense. You deserve to get the bag. Anyway, let's move on. One of these signings they brought in on loan is Naser Djiga.
Mm-hmm.
At first, again, a bit like old Russell, a bumpy start at Rangers. We looked a bit of a bomb scare. Come on to a game. The season's on. Do you think? There's now talk about potentially trying to get him on a permanent deal from Wolves.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine he'll come cheap. But what do you think?
Have you seen a sustained enough spell of form? Or are we just talking over a short period of games? I don't think I've not seen enough yet.
No,
to be totally convinced about a permanent transfer. I would have to say.
I think it depends on the fee.
Rangers have been struggling for a blend at the back, obviously, to get it just absolutely right, and there's been a lot of changes in there.
I think he's got potential to be far better than he is now. I think he's only 23, I think 22, 23, so he's still young.
Yeah,
I think he's raw as a pound of mince. There's no doubt about that. Right, he has got a ricket in him, but I see signs that A ricket. A good old-fashioned word, that, isn't it?
A rick.
A ricket.
A ricket.
Got a ricket in him.
That's you when you get your bed.
It sounds like that. I think he's got potential. I think his ceiling's quite high.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Fernandes, a similar kind of, kind of raw.
Yeah.
But his ceiling's high.
You've hit the nail on the head, Michael. It's fee.
Fee.
It's fee is
I think he cost Wolves about £10 million.
Yeah, fee is everything. You know, if they come asking for £10 million, the answer's no. To me,
Really?
If Rangers get asked for £10 million, no.
I don't think they'll ask for 10.
That's
So-
the point. So it comes down to fee.
I don't think Wolves can command 10 because there's not playing that level to get to demand 10. I think so. Say for example, say it's 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a no-brainer.
But
I'd go and get them.
Is there also a situation with what division Wolves are in? Whether
They might fancy him for the championship.
Yeah,
I just think if
I remember
a chance,
the Hibs not have this problem. There was a lot of talk about, was it Triantis a couple of years ago, that if Sunderland went down,
yeah,
he might be utilised. He would be able to be utilised
that's right.
in that league. I know it didn't transpire that way by Sunderland, but
yeah,
in the championship,
I just think his profile and potential. I think if you sign him for £6 million and he plays, you could sell him again back to a higher level.
I get it. I have a feeling
Big strong centre halves are a good value on them these days.
It's just a ticket for the English Championship.
Yeah, but now that level you'll get £8-10 million back.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be good business. It depends.
Yeah, but my point is, if Wolves on the Championship,
they might. Yes, I take your point.
I think they might.
I'm not talking. Forget Wolves. I'm saying if it's
should Rangers
buy him. It depends on the fee.
Depends totally on the fee. I wouldn't be going above 7 or 8 million.
No. I agree with that. But I think it's worth exploring because I think his ceiling is pretty high.
Yeah.
Like Fernandes.
One thing the Rangers hierarchy have shown us, they're not scared to splash out.
No. But
so if Danny Rowe fancies him, he'll get him, I would imagine.
But again, it's maths. Do you think will he make this eventually? I think he potentially could make money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do, but I don't think he's perfect by any stretch.
No.
But it's worth looking at. Certainly. Back to title race. Another great weekend in prospect. Last week, Hearts tripping up at Kilmarnock. Surprised some people.
Yeah, but we've seen. I mean, Celtic and Rangers have gone to Kilmarnock in the past and struggled. I mean, Celtic were 2 down at half time and struggling there the last time they were there. Rangers have lost enough games at Rugby Park.
The question is, do they need to beat Dundee?
I give it the way this season's gone. I don't think they need to beat. Listen, we had these conversations about 3 weeks ago, didn't we? That Hearts were wobbling, and then Hearts beat Falkirk on the Saturday. Rangers and Celtic went out on the Sunday, made a complete mess of it. Celtic got lost at home to Hibs, and Rangers
we like a must win.
Yeah, we do
in this game.
I think for their own selves, it's an important game to go and win. And getting Shankland and Devlin back and this foundation of Hearts Day, I think it's a.
You were there last week. Hearts fans for a bit.
Yeah, I think they're just
edgy and angry.
They're nervy. And I made a point about this with one of the things I wrote, just that can't translate onto the pitch. You can understand it. They've been up there for ages. They're so close to touching something that none of them could probably ever imagine that the team could have done.
Yeah.
And of course it's nervy. And Kilmarnock started really well last week. And they just, within 10 seconds, Aaron Tish-Bollard went in and nicked a ball off someone, really set the tone. And Hearts just didn't play
flat,
well. I totally agree with what Derek McInnes said. See all this stuff about bottle and all of that stuff. Hearts just didn't play well.
They were flat, weren't they?
That's it. They just didn't play well.
I don't think that'll happen this weekend because I think you mentioned that it's a foundation of Hearts kind of day because they've hit the £20 million barrier, which is phenomenal by the way. Big credit to them for that, what they've done for their club. So I think the atmosphere will be good.
Mm-hmm. But Hearts fans have to stay with them.
That's what I'm going to get to.
Don't start getting nervous after 10-15 minutes and getting edgy.
They got a bit narky last week. It didn't help.
Funny enough, I was at the game earlier in the season when Hearts played Dundee at Tynecastle, and it was the same thing. First half an hour, it was at that point when Hearts were absolutely flying in the season. First half an hour, they never really created a chance. The fans stuck with them.
Yeah,
and then just after half an hour, Shankland just got a ball out his feet 20 yards for goal and smacked in the bottom corner. It just took all the tension.
It finished up 4.
It finished up 4, but it was interesting that day that the fans kind of stuck with them. That was earlier in the season when it was all still happy and joyous, but there is more tension in the air now. There definitely is.
I don't think it's a must-win, but see if we don't beat Dundee, and you think, especially if Rangers and Celtic win and it changes the dynamic in the table, I think it's a major test at that point. Because Hearts this season have had 5 defeats, 4 so far. They've bounced back with 3 wins and a draw.
Yeah.
So they've never gone back-to-back defeats in the league this year. If they lose this one, it'll be the first time, the wrong time to do it. I agree with you. I think
I
they will.
think they will win.
I think the momentum there. I think the crowd behind them. I think they're a good side as well. Shankland back, Devlin back. I think they'll get the result.
Because those two, I don't think
they have to get the result. But they will get the result.
I don't think those two lads will instantly come back to what they were.
But Shankland coming back is just such.
But it's what it does for the other players in the team. Yes,
Shankland coming back is such a psychological.
What it does for the other players in the team.
Because you're not. Perhaps been struggling to score goals. I mean, I think in the 10 games that he's missed, they've scored 9 goals or something like that.
Yeah.
He scored a barload 16 before that.
Yeah.
They know that any ball in the box, because Shankland, you know what he's like, you don't have to even create with Shankland, because any ball's loose, he'd be on it in a flash and he's back in it.
But I think there's also more. I think there's also more to it than that.
No, I do, but I'm just saying
that
psychologically, that's a big boost to have.
I don't think Braga and Kazarides have been anywhere near as good as they were since Shankland's come out the team.
I agree with that.
Shankland, Shankland can drop off, spin, and put Kazarides away. Can do the same for Braga and free them up, and has the intelligence to play passes and get them in. With the greatest of respect to Landry Kabori, he wasn't doing any of that last week. He couldn't get Braga into the game. He couldn't link up with him. He couldn't. Tried his heart out, but nothing. Not Shankland.
No, I think
I think you'll see Kazarides and Braga improving markedly for the fact that Lon Shankland's on the park.
I agree, and I say it's not a must win, but I think it's a must win. I think they will win.
Yeah,
down the road in Paisley, no manager at the moment. Obviously, Stephen Robinson heading up to Aberdeen. Who's your tip for next manager?
Good question.
Thank you, Swanee.
Thank you. I don't know.
It's not my first rodeo.
I quite like the idea of Steve McGinn. I heard that actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I quite like that idea. Yeah, sort of young and vibrant and coming in, and I quite like that idea. Yeah.
What are you based it on?
I know it sounds a bit left.
What are you basing it on?
Something new, something fresh.
Oh, well, you could point me. I'm something new, something fresh. Well, not fresh, but something new.
Yeah, young coach with some new ideas. Why not? Why not try something like that?
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of coaches that'll be experienced.
Who do you think?
Who do I think? I don't think it will happen, but I think Neil Lennon's an interesting one. I think Neil Lennon should be in the top flight, but I think he might get Dunfermline to the top flight at some point. He's got a good job there. He's a great relationship with his club owners. I think he's doing well. I think Neil Lennon, if they could get Neil Lennon, would win a watch. I think that'd be an amazing appointment.
It's interesting. Where are St Mirren in the pecking order of?
Well, that's an interesting one.
Look, I'm just using this as an example. But if you're a John McGlynn, you don't leave. And I'm not suggesting for a minute it's John McGlynn's. I'm just talking about the level of club.
Yeah.
You don't leave.
You're in dangerous territory now.
Do you?
No, that's too much.
That's what I mean. So
you think
where are St Mirren in the pecking order?
You think Dunfermline is like not enough a leap up?
Not sure.
You think
I'm not sure.
Big club Dunfermline.
That's what I mean. A huge club. If Neil Lennon gets Dunfermline into the top flight, will their tendencies be up there along with St Mirren? Well, I think they would be.
I just wonder where Neil Lennon goes kind of next. I think that'd be a decent job. Something like a good club. I take your point. Dunfermline, I'm not taking away the leagues. They're not. Size of clubs, they're probably fairly well matched. I like the idea that Gary Naismith has been in the lower leagues for.
He's been brilliant for years.
Doing a great job.
Never really had a chance.
Never really had a chance. I also guys like Stephen Naismith. I think are good, worth another shot as well. He learned a lot from Hearts.
Yeah.
I think he'd be worth a look as well. Yeah, I know things like Charlie Adam mentioned as well, but not that experienced, and not some pretty ropey experiences in management so far. Simo Valacari, but again, St Johnstone, St Mirren, they're going to go up?
Yes, I think St Mirren are about a much bigger club than St Johnstone.
So it's hard to try.
Yeah.
I think you think St Mirren are bigger than St Johnstone?
Yes, yeah, I do. Yeah, definitely. When I'm looking at when I used Falkirk as an initial example, you've got massive support and a massive.
You're going to upset a few of the.
I upset people.
You're going to upset a few of the Perth Sainties.
Yeah. Well, St Mirren are bigger than St Johnstone.
I can think of one in particular before you very shortly. If this goes out, you're slagging off the Sainties.
I can think of a few before me.
You're going to be getting battered by the tractor boys. But it's.
I'm supposed to be giving them grief for that.
I'll be your honest. Don't worry.
Good.
I'll be your human shield. It's a good. It's a big job. I think it'll be a big queue for it. It's a great club.
Very attractive, yeah.
Cracking club as well. They've got a wee job in their hand to get out of trouble this season. So it's a big appointment.
I think they're going to end up in the playoff, yeah.
I think they could be as well.
But I think they would be good enough in that.
I think so. It'll be just stress. Listen, I don't know if it's stress, but it's certainly something that's exciting. You can talk about the golf clubs at the start of the show, Swanee. The Masters is on the horizon. I get excited this time of year. Yeah. The Masters, is coming. We're nearly there. And by the way, there's a Scot I think is right in the hunt for this Masters. Robert MacIntyre.
I've been saying this for years.
Did you watch him
Sawgrass
last week? And what do you think of his chances of becoming a Scotsman in a green jacket? Randy Lyle obviously back in the day, but what do you reckon?
I think it's coming. Whether it's this year, I'm not going to sit here and say yes, he's going to win the Masters, but his performances in majors are just good. He's doing it on a regular basis. His career is just constantly on an upward trajectory. It's sometimes it's slow progress, then there's leaps, but it's always gradually building. And he goes into major championships now as a genuine contender every time he turns up. Augusta has worked for left-handed players in the past. We've talked about that. There's a lot of success there. Bubba Watson's and Mickelson's.
Lefties, yeah.
It is a course that suits. And he's just gradually building his career. The confidence is there. You saw the way he played down the stretch at Sawgrass. When he gets into those positions, you saw it at Oakmont last year in the US Open. He doesn't back off it. He's not scared to go and win.
By the way, he got beaten by a miracle shot.
Yeah, and was unlucky with it. I think it was the second shot in the 15th and ended up in the rough.
Yeah.
Ended up in the water. He's so solid. The game's so solid, tee to green. If he puts well, he's a massive danger. I know that sounds dead simplistic. Everybody putt well.
That's one of the reasons why I think he is in a right good shape.
I think he's quite a streaky putter, Robert. I think there can be some days when nothing goes up. But see, when he putts well, wow.
Listen, as you know, I'm a big stato.
Yeah.
In terms of bit kind of hipsterish, even some would say. I've been called hip my entire life.
No, come on.
But do you know where he is? And strokes gained on putting was basically here.
I imagine it'd be fairly high this season.
In 2026, he's sixth in the world.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Sixth in the world.
Surprise me for the way he putted
so his putting has been phenomenal. I mean, he said himself last week, he says, I just felt as though I put the ball in at 30 feet and I'm fine for there.
Yeah.
Obviously, Augusta, you have to putt well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you or I were there, we'd be putting off the green at the water half the time.
He's got the game. He's got the character. He's not going to, like I say, he's not going to back off it. And I think what is important with Augusta, I think you find as you go through the years, you don't tend to get a lot of quick winners at Augusta. You sometimes have to play it a few times.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuance to the golf course. The guys have said that themselves.
Yeah.
And I think Robert's got the experience now of Augusta that he's been there, he's seen it, he knows how it acts in certain conditions. He's played it in all conditions. Firm, softer when it's rained, so he knows.
Do you think he's quite hard on himself in the golf course, and he can be a bit of a potty mouth at times. Do you think that's is he superpower or a hindrance to his major hopes?
I think it's a power.
Yeah.
I've asked him about it before.
Yeah.
We've all asked him,
and
he basically said if you don't get out, something Tyrrell Hatton says as well, who's equally fiery. Tyrrell says you've just got to get it out there and then, and that's it. I'm on to the next shot.
Yeah.
So if you don't do that, you bottle up. It's lingering for the next 2 or 3 shots, 2 or 3 holes. Get it out. I get angry with myself. So what?
Yeah.
So what?
No, I think
that's just professional sport at the highest level.
But I look at the kind of robotic kind of Scotty Scheffler. I think
Scotty Scheffler doesn't get angry with himself.
He does. He don't, but not to say. I think he killed that down. I think for his period. The last few weeks he's been a bit grumpy.
Plenty of times.
But not quite to the same extent as
plenty of
Bob.
times. No, but he's not far off.
Don't
be fooled by that.
I take the point, but either way,
don't be fooled by that. Ludwig Oberg could have done with cracking his club off a tee box last week when he made it.
He interviewed after the thought. I mean,
just easy and then
he's obviously hiding.
Phil hooks another one into the water straight after doing it.
He was trying to kind of put a brave face on after it last week, but I thought you're allowed to be upset yourself. That kind of it's golf. These things happen. Doesn't really.
No.
Does it really? No. Your a Gannon-esque collapse in the back nine isn't worth smiling about, as you know, Swanee, all too well.
Yes.
Having witnessed it many times.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're hopefully not far off getting the clubs out again as well. But listen, that'll do us for this week. Thanks again, as always. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thanks again to our superb sponsors, NordVPN. Check out the links, as I said earlier on, for your discounts. And you can catch us always in usual socials, your YouTube, Spotify's, Facebook, and Apple Podcasts. And as always, we love your comments. Most of them. Even the cheeky ones. But well, thanks again, and we'll catch you again next week.